Hey everybody, welcome back to the This Day podcast. My name is Megan and I'm so excited that you would take time out of your day to join us for the podcast. I want to take a minute to thank one of our incredible sponsors, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an incredible tool that you can use to get the help that you need for your mental health because we all know that our minds are important to us. The Bible talks about renewing our minds. So we need to renew our minds daily. And if you are somebody that struggles with your mental health, or you know somebody that struggles with your mental health, you can get professionally licensed help with their round the clock therapy. They even offer Christian therapists to help you. If you are going through a hard time, you can use our code in the show notes below to get the help that you need today. Check them out. I'm so excited for this. So share about a little bit about you, introduce who you are, what you do to the world. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped when you asked me. I'm like, this is gonna be so fun because we have just great conversations across the table for one another. So being able to do this is so fun. But I'm Mindy McCombs, and I started my own business within the last couple years, and um, it pretty much started as just sort of helping just smaller businesses with growing teams, and it slowly turned into just helping creatives, entrepreneurs, businesses in any area that is causing pressure or concern. And that can be anything from teams to tasks to vision, just an integrated approach. But I think that the token word right now is kind of generalist, is what people say.
Yeah.
Um, but I always like to say, instead of being, um, the jack of all trades, it's more of a Swiss Army knife to be able to help wherever is needed. So it's been a huge joy, huge joy.
I love it. Okay, so when you were like, I'm going to start my own business, what kind of pushed you in that direction? Like, what was that initial step? Was it just like, you know what? I only have one life to live. I'm going to do it. Or what made you want to go full throttle?
Hmm. I think that, well, I don't think, I know that in my life, there was just a stirring taking place where I knew transition was coming. And I have just a strong relationship with Jesus. And I think that just the faith part of it, it was just undeniable that something was stirring. And the organization I was a part of for years and years was incredible. It was just literally a natural something happening inside where I knew that there was something coming. And it was an interesting transition because I just started getting some calls about people asking to help with specific areas in their businesses that I felt like I had some knowledge in over the course of just a decade or more, and of just working in different areas. And so I would just go meet people at coffee shops, help businesses however I could. And I think it was my sister one day, she was like, you can like do this for a living, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I think just from life, security is a
Yeah.
huge thing. And so jumping and doing something like my own business was a little bit terrifying at first because there's it's so funny that we get caught up in insurance, 401k, and we kind of set aside even the faith part of it, where that there's just a lot of trust in knowing that you're walking into something, into the unknown. You don't have to be so afraid. And so it was really an interesting process, but it was just little moments along the way where I knew without a doubt that I was supposed to take a leap. And I heard someone talking this morning. Someone's like, I'm ready to take, how do you know when to go in the leap in your own business? And um, it was on a podcast, and he was like, well, don't wait until the income is the same. You have to literally you either leap or you have a like strategic task of strategic, almost a runway to exit. But for me, it was just very clear that it was time. And I think that over the course of, I don't know, between it was almost like the month of July until September or August, between July and August, I knew. And I think I put in a 2 week notice in the middle of August and end date for September. So it was like, dang, this is happening so fast. But it was weird because, when you're supposed to do something big like that, there's peace in it. And there was just so much peace. I knew that it was time. I knew, and it was, and everyone was so supportive too. So I don't wish I would have done it earlier. I don't wish that I would have taken that leap at a different point. It was the exact time that I needed to go. And the things that led up to that moment were growing moments up until then. And so I think a lot of people say, I wish I would have done that way earlier. And I don't know that I would have learned what I learned leading up to it if I would have left earlier.
I love it. I love it. And I think that's so important. I think more people need to have that mindset of, how can we lend a hand? How can we partner up and be that person that wants to help you win versus the person that's in the corner, trying to be the competitive edge. Competition is always good too, right? Because it spurs us on. But
Right.
how can we all, work together in community to help each other win?
Hmm.
And one of the big things that you focus on with people is delegation, because in order to grow, you have to be able to delegate tasks to other people.
Right.
So, when someone has a business or ministry, whatever the arm may be, why is delegation so important?
Mm. That that question is the question, right?
Yeah,
Um, I the hardest thing about having a business is it's your baby,
yeah,
or even when you're leading something that is yours, and if your name is on it or you have to answer for it, there's a lot of pressure in that. There's a lot of um, I think that it's not a pride thing, but we definitely feel accountable for what we've been given. And it goes into just the weeds of who we are. Like, how are people going to perceive us? What do people think of my leadership? What do people think of me? And so when you give things away, it's hard to give those things away because it's yours. It's your little
yeah,
thing that you're growing. And the best thing I've ever heard, I think Craig Rochelle Life Church was like the OG of saying this, and he might have stolen it from someone else. But you can have control or growth, but you can't have both. Is the best.
that's so
It's the
good.
best thing I've ever heard. And so someone had challenged me a long time ago. If someone can do it 80%, or even if you want to challenge yourself, 50% as good as you can, you need to give it away in order to
Mhm.
watch the thing grow. And we all are gifted at specific things. We're not gifted at everything. I'm a kind of person that's like, I want to be gifted at everything. So I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. And I'll
Yeah,
stretch myself too thin. And you're going to get the worst version of me. You're going to get a grumpy version of me. You're going to get a hungry version of me because I'm not going to take time to eat lunch. Just you're going to get the worst part of who I am. Whereas I think that when you have people coming into your business or you start to grow something specifically, it looks different in different. I think it looks different when you have different environments. So if you are in a volunteer sided organization, by adding people in, you get to welcome people in with a lot of different gifts, and you get to pour into those people and watch what they do as they multiply what you're building. If you are a small business and it starts with one person and you're looking to grow that business, I recognize that handing off
yeah,
that thing is so hard. But the moment that you do, you are going to be able to catapult yourself forward because you're going to have more time. It's just like when you start a business in the first place, you don't count for the amount of time. Like, I think when you're evaluating, do I need to make a leap to a business or not? You're not accounting for the time that you're going to gain on your business. You're because you're splitting yourself in two places.
hmm
And the same is true when you give things away to others in your business. You're able to do more because you're giving some of that away. And you're going to be able to focus on the reason you started the thing in the first place, regardless of, again, like you said, the arm. You're going to
Yeah.
be able to, I think that you're going to be able to um, just focus on the why a little bit more. And it really takes a leader to be able to elevate above the in your business versus on your business. You're able to be work on your business and not so much in the weeds that you can't see the big picture. And so by handing things off, it just allows you to be able to do more, even though it is hard to hand it off, you know.
Yeah, it's the type A's for sure. The people that want to be in control, it's so hard to hand it off
Mhm.
to let go. Um, so the big question is, right? Like if somebody has an idea, how can they capitalize on that idea? How can they take this idea, this vision in their mind and just run with it? Because like you said earlier, it's the security, the insurance, the all of the things that hold us back from truly being like doing what we want to do. Um,
Mhm.
what is the best advice that you have for people?
Mm. I think it took me leaving the country a couple times to see that it is just a really interesting environment that we're in, where um everything needs to be just so. There's a timeline. You you go to school, you go to college, you get married, you get the job, get married, have kids,
Yeah.
get the SUV. You're on the PTO. You got the whole thing. You're settled, you're getting
Yeah.
retirement saved away, and one day you'll get to go do the things and dream. But you got to make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you get to dream. And it is just such a broken system because you're missing the point. We're missing, there's so much inside of us that we were built to dream. We were built to build things. Work is good. That's the thing. Work is so good. And as long as you're working in the place that's bringing you life and excitement and that you're using the gifts that you have. I think that we pigeonhole ourselves so much because we feel that we're supposed to be in one specific spot because of XYZ. But when
Yeah.
you're excited and passionate about something, and there are just going to be people that come behind you to fuel you in those things because a lot of times we're missing what you have. We're missing that. And the culture, careers, like we need whatever dream that is that someone has. And if you're stuffed in a cubicle and you're hating it, some people love it. But if you have this dream that's been stoked for a long time and you don't know what to do with it, take the very first step to walk into those things. Obviously, you have to be wise. You got to be wise. You got to look at the logistics. Do I need to um I don't know. Do I need to save a little money before I take that step? Do I need to maybe work at a coffee shop for a little bit while I am
Yeah.
fueling my dream? All of those things. But you actually will create more wealth for yourself if you are excited about what you're doing. I read a book, um, 2 weeks notice, and it actually gave me like so much fuel in that season because I think the one big takeaway from that book, it said to write a date on a sticky note and put it on your bathroom mirror when you were going to take the leap. And it was
So
so
good.
funny because I probably changed, like full disclosure, I probably changed that date like 3 times. Like I was like, all right, no, 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 it's going to be by this date.
Yeah.
Okay, no, 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 by this date. But I remember the very last one was I will by my birthday. And it was
Mhm.
funny because my birthday is September 20th and my last day and taking the leap into my own business was September 1st. And
Mhm.
it was just so kind and incredible to be able to take that next step. I would say if you have a dream or passion about something, you need to talk to somebody about it first.
Yeah.
Get it out of here and here and get it to someone. Um, Talk about it a lot with a lot of different people and see what they think and let them speak into that. And I would just say wise counsel is incredibly important. So that's step one is to talk about it. And two, be confident. Like be confident, you know, faith is a huge part of my life. Be prayerful and confident as you step into those things because um, people are going to believe in it as much as you do. So if you don't believe in it, it's really hard for people to get on board with what you're doing if you don't believe in it yourself. So confidently step into the next and know that there are going to be cheerleaders in your corner. Um, write about it, write about it, talk to people about it. Don't let it go. Make vision boards, write everything down that you want to see in the next year. Don't squish it down and wait for too long because it's really, really easy to step back onto the wheel that we've been told, you need to
Right.
be on. And everyone needs the creativity that and the passions that each individual has that someone may not be thinking about or, that doesn't exist yet because you, you just like you. Megan, you're gifted in areas that I'm not gifted in. And there are things that people need that you have that I do not have. And I could literally look in the eyes of every person that is dreaming about something and say that is true for them as well. And so get people who are going to be in your corner and be a duck. People always say, like, be a duck, and let it roll off of your back. The things that people say that aren't going to be encouraging in that season, let it roll off and just keep moving forward because there's just a lot of joy on the other side of taking that leap. So, and if you need someone to encourage you, I will totally be the cheerleader.
Yes, you are such an encourager, and it's been so incredible to get to know you and just see what you're doing
Mm,
in everything that you do. So how can people, okay, if
same.
people are like, we need a Mindy in our lives, like we need somebody to be the person that takes all of these tasks off our plate because we're trying to grow and we are overwhelmed. How can people
Mm,
get in touch with you, hear more about your business, all of the
yes.
things?
You can obviously go to socials at probably Instagram would be the easiest one, mm_coach or mindymccombs.com and or feel free to reach out to me. I love meeting new people. And again, we talked about people using their gifts. I love to see how we could work together or networking and connecting people is just one of my favorite things to do. So I'd love to connect with anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mindy. I love talking with
Thank
you, and this has been so
you.
fun.
Same. Have the best day.
You too.